Claudia Gadelha takes on Randa Markos in the UFC strawweight division at UFC 239 on the prelims. It's a good fight. Claudia Gadelha is ranked. There's something at stake here. It's a good female fight to have on the card. I just don't know why Randa Markos is in the UFC. And I feel like with women, we're seeing this more and more. It's embarrassing to have a record like you do and represent the UFC, because a casual fan, that's enough to drive them away. Okay? That is enough to immediately drive 50 casual fans that were watching away from the sport. Because what they do is, they see Ultimate Fighting Championship. It's sold as the greatest fighters of all time. They're the greatest fighters in the world. Matching up against each other. They see Claudia Gadelha, 16-4. Well, that's a decent record. Because think, casual fans, they know boxing more than they know UFC. Even if they don't watch boxing at all. That's how they think of things. So even 16-4 to them is a bad record when you really think about it. But they can let that slide. 16-4, okay, it's on the prelims, it's on the undercard. We can get by. That's a good record. This woman must be tough. Randa Markos, 9-6. This is pay-per-view, and they're looking around to their friends. UFC, they're the best fighters in the world, right? Is this the right promotion that we're talking about right now? This girl's 9-6. Should we even watch this one? I'm gonna go have a shit. I'm gonna go have a fucking shit, and I'll be back when the real fighters are on. She's 9-6. I'm staring at a mirror right now. I'm going crazy in my room. Anyway, that's what they're gonna be thinking. Okay, and it's an embarrassment to have that kind of record in the UFC, and I think she should be cut. Even though she's in the UFC and she's had those losses in the UFC, if you really look at her record, I mean, you know, she went 4-1 and she got brought into the UFC, which I don't understand anyway, because if you want women to be taken seriously in the UFC, fucking treat them like the men. You know, there are guys out there that are 10-0 that are fucking begging for a shot. You know, they just signed Jack Shaw in the UK, who I think is like 11-0. They just signed him. He had to win so much in a row and have that perfect record just to get some sort of notice and shine. He had to take a belt, defend it multiple times, just to get a little bit of shine. You know what I'm saying? And get noticed by the UFC. They see a woman, oh, she's had 1 loss, 1 win in her past 2 fights. Bring her in. She's 4-1. We're not going to take it seriously if you aren't. And then she comes into the UFC and she loses. Then she wins, then she loses, then she wins, then she loses, then she wins, then she loses, then she wins, then... I'm not joking. It's literally win-loss, win-loss. It's literally beat a trash cunt like yourself and then face someone of any kind of talent whatsoever and lose. Like, if you look at her losing, like, she beats Ailing Daly. Okay, she loses to Jessica Penne. No, she loses to people that actually have somewhat talent, and she beats people who have no talent whatsoever. She loses to Karolina Kowalkiewicz. She beats Jocelyn Jones-Lybarger. She loses to Courtney Casey. She beats Carla Esparza by split. That's a decent win. She loses to Alexa Grasso. She beats Juliana Lima. She loses to Nina Ansaroff. You know, like, every time they give her that jump, one time she's got by, but every time they give her that jump, she just seems to lose. And I think Claudia Gadelha is another example of that jump, and she's going to lose. Because Claudia Gadelha, as much as people hate on her and say that she's, you know, doing the right head movement backstage, you know what I'm saying? To get her positions in the UFC and get her favoritism. I do think that she's a very good fighter and she's in incredible shape and she's an athlete, okay? And no matter what you can say about her, sometimes being an athlete in women's MMA is enough. You know, it's enough. If you have that strength advantage, I know Claudia Gadelha has supreme skills and she's one of the few examples at the moment of, like, legit fucking good female fighters, because the divisions are still building themselves, so you've got a lot of, like, rubbish at the bottom and trash you've got to pluck out, and eventually I guarantee you in 5 years the women's divisions are going to be where the men's divisions are at, okay? And you're going to start seeing undefeated signings coming in. Oh, she's 7-0, now she's ready for the UFC, rather than, oh, she lost her last fight but she just won, so get her in. She colours her hair. She has red hair. Get her. She has red hair. Get her in. You know what I'm saying? That seems to be all it takes. And I think Claudia Gadelha is going to beat her. She's going to show her what skills like. She's going to get the job done, I believe, by submission. Even though Randa Markos gets some submissions herself. I think Claudia Gadelha is going to be too big, too strong, in the clinch, get the body lock, take Randa Markos down in the first round, and finish it on the ground by rear naked choke, armbar. One of those two. Okay, it's going to be dominant. And I don't know why people... listen, if you want us to take your women's division seriously, take it seriously yourself, man. You know, it's equal fucking rights. You know, funny how much women ask for equal rights, but, like... Listen, equal rights. A guy has to go 11-0 to get in the UFC. Most recently, Jack Shaw. He's 11 or 12-0, and he's 12-0 in his amateurs, 13-0 in his amateurs. So in reality, he's had about 25 fights, and he's undefeated. Then he gets signed by the UFC. Finally, after all that fucking work I put in, I get signed. This is my dream. Girl joins the UFC. Girl gets into MMA, wins 2 fights, has big tits. You're in! That's all it takes. How are we supposed to take that seriously? Let them fucking go through the ringer. Let Invicta prosper a little bit more with these girls. Wait till they take an Invicta belt. Wait till they defend it as a champion. Wait till they get to the 7-0, 8-0, 6-0 area. Then we'll start taking things seriously. Okay, like Aspen Ladd. Aspen Ladd is a great example of a female fighter, and I'll look her up now. She was treated the way that you're supposed to be... Actually, no, she wasn't, because she was brought in quite early in her career. But either way, she was treated relatively good compared to these other girls. Like, she went, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-0 in Invicta before she got the call. Then she wins 3 fights in a row in the UFC. Let them thrive first. Don't just see them think, oh, well, she's... Have I got a boner watching her? I mean, it's a semi. Any action going down? Yeah, well, my dick's twitching a little bit. Bring her into the UFC. Shouldn't work like that. Treat them like the men. Have them go through the ringer, or they're not going to get any respect from fight fans, let alone casual fight fans. You know what I'm saying? Because if casual fight fans see fucking flailing limbs like this, then they're just going to turn off and go watch NFL, or go watch NBA, or whatever the fuck else is on. So yeah. Like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later. Goodbye. Claudia Gadelha by second round. First round, submission. Dominant win. Easy. Light work. See you later. Subscribe there. Goodbye.